Ih, rapaz. Tá dando problema.
Stay back. It's too dangerous. Hey. Back up, kid. I said no. You have to stay back.
Some things can't be helped. Back to your quarters.
Eles entenderam o que você falou. What happened?
What's going on?
Quase.
Shabani. Mayaka 9 Kingoya. Shabani.
It's down there. Hey, the tank at the bottom is filled with chlorine disinfectant. One whiff and you'll suffocate. Don't even. How could you let it fall down there anyway?
Quiet. Não. Gostosa.
Hit the alarm! No! You go down there, and it is over. Boss! Hey! Listen to me! There is no way to recover the body. What kind of stunt was that? Trying to panic us?
Tá porra. Agora a cena do Snake carregando ela sozinho.
Look. Here.
Boss, about that AI pod you retrieved from Emmerich's research facility. Guess what we found inside? A corpse. Human. The pod maintained a low internal temperature the whole time, and very little outside air got in. That would have slowed down decomposition. Still, the remains were mostly skeletal. Estimated time of death is between 6 months and a year ago. We put the screws to Huey about it. Listen to the tape. Turns out it was the body of someone we knew very well.
Paz?
Yes, Strangelove was doing AI research in that lab. Why hide that until now? Why? Okay, so what? I wasn't working alone. You've got to understand. You do understand, right? I didn't want to drag her into this. It's my load to bear, alone.
So you didn't create the AI intended to drive Sahelanthropus. It was Strangelove.
Skullface was never in favor of AI control. So naturally they argued. Strangelove, she got him angry and he killed her.
How? You didn't see it? So you found her inside that pod after the fact. And you just left her body to rot in there. Or perhaps you put her in there afterward.
I asked him not to take her away from me.
So she was killed by Skullface, but you asked nicely, and he put her body in the AI pod for you?
That's right.
Pathetic. You know, we have another idea. That you killed her.
Me? I couldn't kill her.
You killed her and locked her body in the pod.
I wouldn't. Don't treat me like one of you. I can't just kill anyone whenever I feel like it. I'm a normal human being.
Oh, I see. So you just shut her inside and waited for her to die.
I would never do that.
What, you mean she killed herself?
Yes. She climbed inside that pod and shut the door. It
Claro.
can't be opened from the outside. It was suicide. Suicide, I said. She killed herself. She got in when I wasn't looking and suffocated. She'd often try to do things like that. By the time I realized and opened the door, she wasn't breathing. I got scared and shut the pod again. I couldn't bring myself to open it back up. That's right. Me? Kill her? What is wrong with you?
I see. Just tell me one more thing.
Haven't you gotten enough today?
Okay, I see it's a painful memory. You don't have to answer, just listen to the question. You see, we examined her remains. She had a scar on her lower abdomen, a surgical scar. It had been stitched up and had fully healed, meaning it was long before her death. She had a child, didn't she? Your child. Where's the kid?
How should I know?
So there is a child.
I've never seen his face.
What do you take us for?
They took it all. Even my child. I didn't even know he'd been born. I lost everything.
How old would he be?
It's 4 years since then.
And you know it's a boy.
Strangelove said so.
And his name?
We called him Hal, even though I never saw his face.
Hałata kom.
Please select a mission.
Não. Obrigado. Tá de perto.
Please the landing zone.
Roger. This is Speedquad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Matei todos vocês! Arriving shortly at LZ. The dog, no, the dog.
Please select a mission.
Boss, the rebel guerrillas are launching an offensive against the Soviets. Our job is to eliminate as much as we can of the Soviet mechanized unit that will come in as reinforcements.
Deploying.
Vontade de arrancar isso aqui, você tá louco. Back up, back down. Reverse. Punished Venom Snake.
Boss, your objective is to eliminate as many enemy combat vehicles as you can. For this mission, we're backup for the guerrillas' offensive. That means our mission isn't over until theirs is. Keep an eye on the remaining time. Also bear in mind that you'll fail the mission if you don't take out a single vehicle. As for payment, the more vehicles, the bigger our paycheck. So give them a real fireworks show.
Please select.
Check the target's locations on your map. Once you've spotted incoming reinforcements, their location will be added to your iDroid too.
Be careful down there, boss. Detected. The map has been updated.
Mais longe de mim tá tudo.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Boss, I have a report from the intel team. The targets are now on the move. I've sent their predicted route to your iDroid. Check your map.
Mano, é a mesma missão, velho. Impressionante. Não vou pegar isso.
Please select a drop point. Dispatch requested. Buddy departing area of operations. Buddy has arrived. Supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
Target has left the mission area. It's too late to eliminate that one. Just focus on taking out the remaining targets. Boss, we spotted a target elimination confirmed. Not any more in you.
Sun will rise momentarily.
You've got other targets closing in. You can check their predicted route on your iDroid.
The map has been updated. Development project has been added.
Whoa, whoa! Yeah.
Agora eu já nem sei se esse cavalo é mais rápido que eu a pé, velho.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Analysis complete.
Boss, that prisoner we rescued provided some intel. We now know the location of a hidden enemy staging area. Check it on your iDroid.
The map has been updated.
Как фачер нас год?
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
All right, boss.
Please select supplies
Boss, need a
requested.
little extra firepower? We spotted a Soviet weapons transport truck. Apparently, its cargo is something pretty powerful. What do you think? Should we make them share?
Complete.
Carefully, boss. You've eliminated half the targets. Boss, we have new targets. Check your iDroid for the details.
The map has been updated.
Eu tava vendo na minha posição? Tá, mas eu é mais rápido eu explodir.
Minutes remaining.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Ai, filha de uma puta!
Please select a drop supplies requested.
Cara, qual o caminho deles?
Complete.
Passar por aqui, sem jeito.
Only 2 minutes remaining.
cacete.
Nice work, boss. The targets were almost history.
Cala a boca, Kazuhiro.
Last one, boss. The enemy reinforcements have stopped. No targets remaining. Boss, exfiltrate the hot zone. You've made it out of the hot zone. No sign of the enemy. Mission complete, boss.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Mission complete. I guess it all worked out in the end.
Nossa, que missão merda, velho. Puta que pariu. Que missãozinha meia boca. Acho que eu vou nessa daqui e eu chamo de dog. Que é um pouquinho mais rápido que ficar matando uns altamente habilidosos. Cadê? Tô com o de horse ainda. Beleza, vou chamar o D-Dog.
Please select dispatch requested.
Enquanto isso, a gente vai ver.
Buddy departing area of operations.
Arma pra poder fazer.
Please specify a project.
Oi, D-Dog.
Buddy has arrived. The map has been updated.
Pratos de captura personalizada do Snake. Dispara a arma descartável Wisp. Captura e traz soldados prisioneiros ao alvo de volta para o usuário. Não mesmo. Cacete, precisa de nível 70 e cacetada lá. Posso fazer uma arma da Quiet?
Please specify a
Uma
project.
borboleta malévola, uma borboleta pecadora. Já usa punição especial carregada com a mão. Quantidade máxima. Tem o poder de contenção implacável. Habilidade Sinful Beautiful. Butterfly.
Please specify a project.
Missão de expedição. Sim, D-Dog.
Please select a mission. Unit dispatched. Unit dispatched.
Pronto. Bora, D-Dog. Nossa missão é pra cá.
Marker placed.
Enquanto isso eu vou botar umas fitas pra tocar. Só pra gente ter uma noção meio do mundo, assim.
The White Mamba, Nyoka Yampembe. He's the commander of the kids based out of Wala Yamasa. As you know, contract forces of Africa were stationed at that village. Anti-government forces hired CRS to bring kids there from around Africa for training. But at some point, the adults with the PF started dropping like flies. This was right after we arrived in Africa. We don't know the cause. The kids ended up on their own. Must have been like fish out of water. Nothing to eat, no way to get back home. All the adults taught them was how to use a gun. Sure, they could shoot targets, but hunt for food? Not likely. They wouldn't have lasted long. Then the White Mamba showed up. He was faster and stronger than them, a better soldier, and he knew how to lead. I guess somebody wished upon a star, because their savior turned up like stardust straight out of the blue. The moment he arrived, the kids had their new commander. That was when they started attacking other villages. Word of the infamous White Mamba spread fast. But it isn't just his combat skills that got people talking. As you can tell from the name, he's the only light-skinned kid in the unit. Not to mention the blonde hair and the blue eyes. Not common in those parts. We have no idea where he came from or what he's experienced. The kid's a huge blank. But I'm sure you'll know him when you see him. One other thing. He's still a kid, so don't kill him. Be careful not to hit him with anything lethal. Not even a flesh wound. Our mission objective isn't just suppressing a bunch of militants. This is a DDR operation of the kids in that unit. DDR stands for disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration. Disarmament is obvious. We take their weapons off their hands. The demobilization part means dismantling the military organization to ensure they can't arm themselves again. To do that, you need to capture the unit's commander and have him order his men to disband. In this case, the commander is the White Mamba. There's nobody above him, so he's all we need to grab. Finally, reintegration. Through education and occupational training, we give them a means to live besides war. A lot of kids born in a war zone don't know any other way to live. So before they find themselves back there, we teach them another skill. I'd like to establish this rehabilitation process at Mother Base. That's why we're bringing those kids back here. It's not so much for their sake. It's for the world that we're trying to create. No other way about it. Those kids are amateurs. Bad for business to have them running around where we're trying to work. Bring them all back if possible. Or as many as you can. We placed the White Mamba and the rest of his unit in the staff living quarters. How's that going? It's a disaster, but what else can we do? We've taken away his weapons and banned him from using his nom de guerre. Apparently his real name is Eli. He must feel like we stripped him of his whole identity. We'll let things simmer down. I put a guard on him for now. Still the question is, who is he? Where did he come from? And how has he survived? He's still not talking. No, he won't say a word about himself. But you know, it looks like he speaks English. One of the deck crew called out to him in English, and he said something back. He just lost it all of a sudden, started mouthing off at the guy, in perfect English. He wasn't stringing together words he picked up somewhere. So English is his mother tongue? He could be from the east, or the south, or maybe even further north or south. English is well established in countries all across the continent. It's rooted in Africa like a weed, or maybe parasite is the better word. So just speaking English doesn't help us figure out where he comes from. Could even be from off-continent. Right. In any case, we'll keep an eye on him. If we learn anything else, I'll be sure to let you know. When I first started dealing with Zero, with Cypher, it was a somewhat parasitic relationship, though a mutually beneficial one. Cypher had no army of their own, so they wanted us. They wanted our strength. They approached me as a potential business partner, but they had other motives. Cypher coaxed us into Central America, into that US-Soviet proxy war, to fuel Mother Base's growth. Once we were big enough, they'd force us to join them. That was the plan. That's why they had Pa still Zeke. Right. And if we refused, she would use Zeke to fire a nuke from Mother Base. The world would consider us a liability, and countries would unite to destroy us. We stopped the launch. And yet they still took us down, through that fake inspection they orchestrated to cover up their sabotage. That power Cypher wanted. We don't have it anymore. So why are they still after you? Is it just the fear of leaving you alive? I don't know. Was Zero really... All I know is the man I knew wouldn't want this. What do you mean?
Roger.
We have to consider that it might not be Zero we're dealing with. We know virtually nothing about Cypher anymore. How big they've gotten, what they want, or even who they really are. The new Mother Base started out as a test drilling rig operated by a mineral resources supplier, but their project fell through. The Seychelles government was happy to hand the place over to us. It was just scrap on stilts. So with a few dummy construction companies set up as fronts, we started renovating the half-finished rig. From the outside, it looked like the project was back on rails.
Kaz, you...
What?
I see what you're doing. Recreating the Mother Base we had 9 years ago. Only this time.
That's right. The Mother Base Cypher thought they destroyed will return from the grave to kill them. We'll prove to the world that we were the victors.
And if we lose again?
They can't fool us the same way twice. Now our enemies are in plain sight. And when our organization gets too big, we split it across companies. Any company that draws attention gets liquidated, and its capital is back-channeled into a new company. Most PFs are small-time operations anyway. And in this business, the minnows go bankrupt all the time. We've never aroused suspicion. Plus, we have Hewick.
Hewick?
Human Exploitation Company. It's a business specializing in intel gathering. Think of it as a civilian intelligence agency. Cause that's... Remember what they were trying to accomplish at the prison facility in Cuba? That gave me the idea. We
Tem que vir pra cá pra poder pelo menos conseguir entrar aqui, porque tá
sets
difícil.
up an intel network on site. Then they stay in place to give us stable points of contact when other nations intervene in the conflict. Hewick's strength is that it has a cutout at each level. You get your job from one...
Tinha que tá continuando.
Arrived at Mother Base.
Diamond Dogs. Então eu quero saber onde tá o negócio.
Please select a landing zone. Deploying. Please select a mission.
Be careful down there, boss.
Continuamos escutando as fitas, já que esse episódio só vai ser de escutar fita.
Why put Mother Base in the Seychelles? We're at the center of the world here. We're all the way out in the Indian Ocean. Come on. Lebanon, Sri Lanka, East Timor, and Africa. From here, our reach extends to conflict zones the world over, including Afghanistan, of course. So it's prime real estate for a mercenary. Exactly. Latin America isn't as close as I'd like, but we have Amanda and her people to help in that department. And besides, the Seychelles government owes us a favor. Owes us? The Seychelles has strong ties to the east, which the West wanted to shake up. It came to a head 3 years ago in an attempted coup. It was a force of South African mercenaries with U.S. backing behind the scenes. They were only platoon size, but South Africa is home to some heavy PFs. Too much for the Seychelles to handle. In the end, they accepted help from the Tanzanian army and quelled the coup. We set up the deal and handled on-site tactical instruction. That led to some training work for the Seychelles military. And when we put down a mutiny within their forces, well, we made a lot of people happy. They don't pay us. They just let us have a piece of their offshore territory on the promise we'll come running if something else happens. So we're bodyguards, too. It's a good setup. We can only take Mother Base so far here. We'll have to find somewhere else when this place starts getting big. Aren't you being a little hasty? Nothing hasty about it. You're back with us now. So, Kaz, the ship that took us from Cyprus, it used to be a whaler. Yeah, a Japanese vessel. How was the voyage? It was... stimulating. Well, she was part of a whaling fleet up until a few years ago. Her displacement isn't anything to write home about, but she can really move. She still had plenty of life left in her, but then the work dried up. Global opposition to whaling has been mounting for years. Is that right? The push to ban it has been gaining traction for a little over a decade. Individual species came under protection as the years went on. And then 2 years ago, the IWC adopted a moratorium on commercial whaling. Several countries, including Japan, fought it to the bitter end. But eventually, most whaling companies had no choice but to throw in the towel. You ever tried whale snake? Can't say that I have. When I was a kid in Japan, practically everybody ate it. That good, huh? The country was poor in those days, and whale was cheap. International opinions changed since then. In any case, that's why we were able to get a bargain price on the ship. Of course, we did end up spending 5 times the purchase price in modifications. We had to really work to fit in all the ESM and communications gear while keeping the whaler look intact. Right now, she's going around conducting SIGINT missions. In the future, we plan to use her as a communications relay base between you and Mother Base, and also as a chopper resupply vessel. Diamond dogs. The word diamond originally comes from the Greek adamas. It means indomitable, unyielding. Other words for the stones often mean eternal bond, fortitude, or purity. The same is true of the Star of Bethlehem flowers you laid on the boss's grave. They represent innocence, as well as chastity, yielding to no man while maintaining one's virtue. In other words, staying loyal to something.
Já acabou.
This war. The Kremlin never expected to have this much trouble against the Mujahideen. Afghanistan is a tribal society. Tradition demands that its people stand up to any outsiders who set foot on their land. With the honor of their people at stake, they have everything to fight for. No matter how hard the Soviets hit them, they continue to appear out of nowhere, striking back, then vanishing again. But there's one thing even the Mujahideen fear. Every last one of them. The Soviet gunships. They're highly maneuverable and equipped with massive firepower. Plus, the underside of the fuselage is heavily armored. The Mujahideen can barely scratch them with their small arms. Anyone who hangs around gets mowed down by the gunship's heavy machine guns. This new honeybee weapon that was given to the Hamid fighters, it's no doubt something to help them strike back against the gunships. Which makes it a weapon that could change the course of the war.
That's the target.
Known as Mujahideen don't actually belong to a single organization. Afghanistan is an ethnic country. You've got the Pashtuns.
Boss, that's a serious injury. It won't heal on its own.
Puta que pariu, velho.
Snake, talk to me!
Snake! 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 Tá, tava no meio da fita e parou.
Those guerrilla fighters known as Mujahideen don't actually belong to a single organization. Afghanistan is a multi-ethnic country. You've got the Pashtuns, the Tajiks, Uzbeks, Hazaras, and each of them is split into their own tribes, large and small. Each ethnicity has several rebel organizations that their various tribes gather under. They're united under the banner of jihad, but that doesn't mean they work like a single standing army.
If you set up a capture cage, it'll trap small to medium-sized animals. The support unit will handle the extraction, so all you need to do is place the cage. Wild animals have all kinds of habitats. Try placing cages in a variety of places. You can check the animals list on your iDroid to see. That's the target.
Pashtun people have long lived in Afghanistan and western Pakistan. They used to travel back and forth frequently. Then Britain went and established the border that still stands today. The Hamid fighters get generous support from the Pakistani government. The government wants to use them to secure influence over Afghanistan. Their liaison with the Hamids is Inter-Services Intelligence, and behind the ISI, you have the CIA. That's probably how the honeybee ended up in the hands of the Hamid men.
Amizade. Dorme?
Boss, that's a serious injury. It won't heal in
Snake, are you okay? Snake!
Eu posso matar o urso? Como é que é? É, que diz que é capturar, né?
Please select a deployment point. Please select dispatch requested. Buddy departing area of operations. Please select a mission.
Those guerrilla fighters known as Mujahideen don't actually belong to a single organization. Afghanistan is a multi-ethnic country. You've got the Pashtuns, the Tajiks, Uzbeks, Hazaras, and each of them is split into their own tribes, large and small. Each ethnicity has several rebel organizations that their various tribes gather under. They're united under the banner of jihad. That doesn't mean they work like a single standing army. Just look at the area around Smasi Fort. They used to live there. They fled after the Soviets started their Scorched Earth campaign. With the area uninhabited, the Hamid fighters, who are Pashtun, decided to move in. The Hamids are based out of the city of Peshawar. We passed through it on the western edge of Pakistan. The Pashtun people have long lived in Afghanistan and western Pakistan. They used to travel back and forth frequently. Then Britain went and established the border that still stands today. The Hamid fighters get generous support from the Pakistani government. The government wants to use them to secure influence over Afghanistan. Their liaison with the Hamids is Inter-Services Intelligence, and behind the ISI, you have the CIA. That's probably how the honeybee ended up in the hands of the Hamid men.
Supply drop complete.
If you set up a capture cage, it'll trap small to medium-sized animals. The support unit will handle the extraction, so all you need to do is place the cage. Wild animals have all kinds of habitats. Try placing cages in a variety of places. You can check the animals list on your iDroid to see which animals have been extracted.
Mas que cacete, velho. Amém. Dormiu. Porra! Tchau, urso lendário do meu pau.
Side ops list updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Tá, tem mais alguma coisa?
Please, so dispatch requested. Weather will clear shortly. Buddy departing area of operations.
Wow!
Sun will set shortly. Buddy has arrived. The map has been updated. Sun will rise momentarily.
Caramba, você fica bem no meio de uma tempestade, tipo, full foda-se.
Clouds approaching.
Ih, D-Dog. Se divertiu?
Good dog.
Sun will set shortly. Sun will rise momentarily. Sun will set shortly.
Deixa eu ver se eu já posso mandar fazer um negócio na Mother Base. Não, ainda falta tempo.
Please select a mission. Unit dispatched. Sun will rise momentarily. Sun will set shortly. Please select a landing zone. Support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
Vamos voltar na Mother Base e ver se eu posso fazer uma coisa. Was that you? Would you speak them to me? With your breath so still that makes me believe the sins never die. can't wash this blood off our hands. Bora de dark. Arriving shortly at Ballsy.
This is Pequot. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Down in your face, it's only the cold wind I feel.
Gaining altitude. Departing.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Good. He captured it alive.
Olha lá o morcego da Covid.
Please select a landing zone. Heading to Mother Base.
Heading to Mother Base. Caralho. Kazuhiro Miller tá maluco. Quiet.
Talk?
What the hell are you doing?
Anything? Still living up to her name. How about you drop the act?
Estás...
Who infected you with a parasite? We can't let her talk. Put it back. All I want's a name. That won't trigger anything. Tell me. Tell me! Your lungs have been barbecued. There's traces of rubbing alcohol in your alveoli. This was found adhered to your lungs, intact. A petal. White Star of Bethlehem. The hospital. Skullface sent you to Cyprus to kill Snake. You were burned inside and out. That should have been the end of it. But, all things considered, You look pretty damn healthy to me. We have Skullface to thank for that, right?
I was the only one capable of applying them to parasite therapy. Until he stole them from me.
Why are you here? Did Skullface send you? Or did you have your own score to settle with the boss? Refreshing? Salt water.
No! She'll die!
His life isn't yours to take.
Enough. That's enough. If she wanted to kill the boss, he'd already be dead. Same goes for us. She's had plenty of chances. She can talk. She's not here to kill anyone. You're wasting your time. It doesn't matter why she's here. She works for you now. She's in love with the legend.
What makes you so sure?
I was the same way once.
What if she's a spy?
So be it.
What if I'm a spy? For you? Go on all day.
Boss.
Let her go. She won't speak so she can't spread the infection.
Alguém vai tomar um golpe de judô nervoso.
Na beginnen Tisch. مش ناقد انتي.
Oh.
ايديكي بلاك انات ايه.
Oh. Ako kode desu ni.
ده بالذات.
Belagana gesnita. Katobe yashiteta. Ashetota. Dodo ni shita. Dodo ni shita.
Então, porque você não usa a língua... Acabou de dizer outra língua, não faz sentido. Ah, é isso.